The Mysteries of Humanity, the Island of Silence. For countless centuries, humanity has pondered questions for which, seemingly, there are no answers. The mysteries of the past and the unexplored secrets of the previous century have often led to sleepless nights for scientists, philosophers, and ordinary people. But one mystery, hidden in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, remained unsolved and beckoned to those who were willing to risk everything for the truth. It all began in 1890, when a group of researchers set out to explore an uncharted island, known only to a few as the Island of Silence. Local fishermen and residents of the nearby archipelagos never stopped there, preferring to avoid it. On the maps of that time, the island was marked as uninhabited, but something in its history caught the attention of scientists. One of the most prominent oceanographers of that time, Dr. Arthur Hulk, was studying ancient maritime charts when he discovered strange inscriptions on fragments of parchment found in a Japanese monastery. They spoke of a mysterious culture that once thrived on the island and vanished without a trace in history. According to legend, the island's inhabitants could communicate with nature and predict events that were yet to happen. This seemed fantastical, but many historians believe there was a deep truth hidden within it. Dr. Hulk, intrigued by this unusual hypothesis, gathered an expedition. In 1893, the group of scientists and researchers arrived at the island. They were equipped with the most modern tools and technology of the time, ready to find answers to the questions that had plagued humanity for centuries. However, as soon as they set foot on the island, strange events began to follow them. First, they discovered huge stone monoliths on the shore, covered with mysterious symbols. For several weeks, the researchers tried to decipher them, but every time they seemed close to finding the answer, the inscriptions would change, as if responding to their attempts to understand their meaning. Soon, the scientists noticed that not only the symbols on the stones were changing, the very nature around the island seemed to come to life. The leaves on the trees and the grass began to whisper. The birds and insects made unusual sounds, as if the island itself were a living being. The strange events continued. On the third day of the expedition, one of the scientists, Professor Thomas Gray, discovered an ancient temple hidden deep in the jungle. It was built with such craftsmanship that the walls seemed to merge with the earth itself. Inside, the temple was filled with ancient artifacts that appeared to have been created using technologies far ahead of their time. But the most astonishing discovery was a hall inside the temple, filled with ancient mirrors. Each one reflected not the present moment, but images that resembled the future. Professor Gray attempted to understand how these mirrors could show images that had yet to occur. But before he could draw any conclusions, strange incidents began to happen. One by one, members of the expedition began to disappear. First without a trace, then only their footprints, and all of this happened before the eyes of the remaining researchers. Panic gripped the survivors. With each passing day, their numbers dwindled, and the island seemed to grow more hostile. On the fifth day, after the last members of the expedition had vanished, only Dr. Hulk remained on the island. His final journal entry read, "The island possesses a power that humanity cannot comprehend. Here, time is not what we know. Here, it is not just a culture that is hidden, but knowledge that could alter the very essence of existence." Years passed, but the mystery of the island remained unsolved. Soon, its location was lost, and the island disappeared from the maps. Stories about it were passed down through generations, but despite their best efforts, scientists could not find it again. A century later, in the 1980s, during oceanographic research in the Pacific, a sensational discovery was made. Ancient ruins were found on one of the underwater reefs, which seemed to belong to the same island. However, when researchers attempted to descend to the depths, something strange happened. Their instruments malfunctioned, and all attempts to study the artifacts proved futile. And so, the mystery of the Island of Silence remains unsolved. What secrets does this enigmatic island hide? Perhaps it holds the key to understanding the nature of time and human fate, or its knowledge is too vast and dangerous to be revealed. One thing is certain: this mystery, like many others, will remain unsolved until humanity is ready to comprehend the world in its deepest and most mysterious manifestations.